Quick question. Why is gay dad fashion either sad hoodie or pride once a year?
Well, thankfully, Gaddies exists because they understand that gay dads deserve clothes that say, I'm nurturing, I'm exhausted, and still hot.
Gaddies was started by a gay dad who looked around and said, why do straight dads get all the bad graphic tees?
They make hats, tees, hoodies to let the world know that you're a dad, but like a hot gay one.
David, you literally will not take off your Yes Gaddy hat.
Yeah, but you're weirdly committed to your caught in a dad romance t-shirt, like emotionally and spiritually.
I own it. It's perfect for school pickup, play dates, or explaining to strangers why your kid has two dads and better outfits than they do.
Gaytriarchs listeners get 20% off with code GAY20. That's GAY20.
Dressed like the Gaytriarch you are, or at least the one you used to be before bedtime was at 8.
Go to heygaddies.com. That's HEYGADDIES.com.
Number 3 for me is Cosmic Coast Guards. I just choked on that. Damn it.
You literally had like spit in your throat.
Why?
You had
Yep.
like swallowed
Yep.
it.
Nope. And I was looking at it and I read it and this is Gaytriarchs.
Question. When does your child or children understand spatial awareness when it comes to opening the car door for them?
Wait, so you're saying you open the door for them?
No, here's what I'm saying. My children don't understand the concept of me opening a door means you can't stand directly in front of the door. And I start opening it and it gets close to them and they go, I'm like, but they don't move around it.
Move around.
Babe, do you understand the physics of how doors work? And it is my 6-year-old and my 4-year-old. They both stand directly in front of a door and expect me to open it.
And they think that the door is made of rubber and can just bend around them so that they can stay in place.
Like the space-time continuum is going to fold over itself to let, like, when do they understand that? Because it's making me crazy.
I would say, based upon the lack of spatial awareness that my children feel in our cramped kitchen, would say that I don't have an answer for you on that, because there are people, hey, let's face it, there are people in this world who have no spatial awareness.
True.
But the kids with the doors, I mean, can't your kids open their doors themselves? Maybe this is on you, David.
Oh, this is also them opening their own doors. My daughter's our front door has like a little like glass like storm door part before the regular door. She will stand in front of the door, grab it, pull it, it will hit her legs, and she'll cry that the door won't open. The door, bitch, you're standing in front of the door.
Of the door.
Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, you see what's happening here. Do you not understand how a fulcrum and a lever and a pivot and a great
physics there. Yeah. Just last night, I was taking my kids home from a lesson, and I opened the trunk because I needed to move some stuff from the back seat to the trunk because I was suddenly the carpool for other people who just said, hey, can you bring my kid home? Which was fine. So I had to move some stuff. And my daughter was incensed that her friend was going to have to sit with my son and his friend, and she was going to sit in the front. And she's like, Dad, as if it was my fault that somebody said at the last second, can you take my daughter home? Anyway, she was so pissed at me, and I opened our trunk. We have a hatchback, and it hit her in the face because of basically an advanced level of what you're talking about, as if she had never seen the trunk open. But mainly, she was pissed at me that her friend was going to be isolated, and as if I was doing something wrong, etc. Point being, I don't know what the point is, except that it never gets better. It never gets better.
So but
everything's my fault. Yeah. Everything's my fault. And if they get hit by a door, it is also my fault. So
that is true. So you're saying at 13, it's still not quite there. Still not developed in their frontal lobe or whatever. Okay, that's really fun.
Definitely not. You have nothing. No good things to look forward to. Now, I want to go back to a topic that came up this morning. My son wants to bulk up. He's a 12-year-old. He takes his soccer very seriously, and he eats like a bird, and consequently he looks like he has no fat on his body whatsoever. And he plays soccer and he's running all the time. He wants to bulk up. I'm like, oh God, is this like a teenage, I want to like get pecs and abs. And I think he just feels lightweight. And in comparison to some of his soccer friends, he's definitely a little smaller. So anyway, he wants to bulk up. So he now wants to do smoothies. We are not doing like protein and stuff, but just increasing his caloric intake. But this morning he was incensed because he said, Dad, you're trying to sneak broccoli into my smoothie. Now, that is totally something that I would do.
Yeah, I remember you telling us about greenies or whatever the fucking weird shit you made.
Yes. Making my little blended greenie, not smoothies. Those were definitely like mashed greens. But it was an accident because, long story short, a microscopic piece of broccoli fell into his smoothie, I suppose, as I was doing dishes from last night. My point is, what I want to know is a topic of discussion. You're at a prime age for kids being super finicky eaters. And I'm curious if you and or the people around you find ways to sneak in vegetables in life, or are you just like, no, eat your damn vegetables? Or have you already given up and are you guys just currently a house of chicken nuggets and french fries?
Well, yes. I mean, in general, I have given up, just kind of blanket given up as a parent because it's too hard. We were those annoying fucking first-time parents who were no sugar, everything organic. Like we made our, like
we all are that.
Oh God, it was so obnoxious. But I will say, I think it, and we made sure every single meal there was something new in front of him. I will say he has turned into I will try anything once eater, and almost always will just eat whatever's put in front of him. By the time my daughter was born, we had mostly given up as parents. And now my daughter is a plain buttered pasta girl and will refuse to eat things. But I will say we don't try to sneak it into things because it's very difficult, but we will require them to have bite of everything on their plate before they are allowed to get up. So yeah, if there's broccoli on their plate and also chicken nuggets, there's no way they're going to eat their chicken nuggets and they're going to be like, I'm done. We make them eat at least one piece of broccoli.
Florette.
Florette, correct. Yes.
You haven't tried. I like the approach of my brother-in-law actually said, we do a no thank you bite. So you have to take a bite to taste, a bite to decide. Somehow he made it into a threesome. And a bite to taste, a bite to debate, and then a bite to decide whether or not you want another. And that's called the no thank you bite. And I getting into more than one bite, I think could be helpful. But I remember years ago, before I was a parent, I was talking to a mom who I had heard somewhere that people sneak in spinach or broccoli or whatever into smoothies because you can kind of like hide, theoretically you can hide the flavors. And she right away said, I think that's bullshit because you want your kids to understand what a vegetable is and they need to eat the goddamn vegetable. And I mean,
yeah, but that's intellectual fucking debate. Utopic. You're like, kids should learn to not run across the street. Yes, bitch, I know, but now he's running across the street. Now what do you want me to do? That's why he's on a leash.
So we should sneak stuff into smoothies.
Yes,
and maybe
absolutely.
I should. 100%. My kid who doesn't want to eat broccoli, but he nibbles. The reason we had broccoli out on the counter basically is that we had some last night, and he refuses to eat cooked broccoli of any kind. So he eats it raw, and then all he does is nibble. He mows the little top of the parts. Just barely nibbles it. And I'm like, oh, come on. But he's generally a good eater other than that. So I choose my battles.
Our parenting food kind of point of view has basically just one thing now, which is like we try to remind them that food is fuel and that when our body is full, we say we stop eating if we're still hungry. Like we're trying to make sure food is not a reward or a punishment, and that they're like, but listen, we've given up. We give her butter noodles when she asks for it, so who cares? One thing I did not give up on, which was last week, Gavin, you had introduced all of our listener to Dylan Skips. And as you were doing it, like I was like, oh, I kind of think who that is. And I was like, oh, whatever, I'll look at it later. So we finished recording. Then I went on and I looked for him. Gavin, this is the most attractive man I've ever seen in my entire life. Gavin, when I saw this man, I quite literally gasped out loud to where like people 6 houses away were like, what's happening in that queer household? This man is so fucking, you really underplayed how sexy this man is. Yes,
okay.
He's a great jump roper. He's probably straight. Guys, run, don't walk to Dylan_Skips. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
That is more than I was expecting. I wouldn't say that he is the very, very top of my list, but I do think that his very charm and his casual nature takes him a level above what his physical attractiveness is.
I think the body. I want him to ruin my credit. Do you know what I mean? I want him to destroy me financially. He is so. Listen, I love it. He's thick, but like athletic, and he's blonde. Oh God, he's just fucking gorgeous.
Well, so I feel like he is a mirror opposite of you, though, which makes this seem very narcissistic.
Great.
Like,
so he's the opposite.
Terribly
of me.
attractive,
so I'm
and
fat
and
ugly.
slightly ginger.
Got it. Fat and ugly.
I said he's no, not the mirror opposite. He is exactly you. You are looking at yourself in the mirror when you look at him.
Yeah.
No, I think that you are absolutely the same type. You would be up against each other in casting.
No,
without
he's
a doubt.
like the
he would
Chris
get the job.
Hemsworth,
Let's be clear.
And I'm the weird, ugly other Chris brother that nobody talks about.
You're the Danny DeVito to Arnold Schwarzenegger's twins.
Yes,
and that was
a modern reference.
That was a nice modern reference. Timely, huh?
Oh my God!
All right, so we had a snow day this week. Did you have a snow day?
Oh man, just a dead segue. Love it. We did. Monday, all schools were closed. It was a lot of snow. We got a lot of snow. We got almost 2 feet of snow. So it was a lot of snow.
I'm in winter wonderland and I love it so much. 18 inches of snow still out here because it's 4 degrees. I'm wearing a winter jacket recording this right now because my recording space is so cold. But this is like, hey, this is Colorado in the 80s and 90s when I was growing up, and I love it. But now with my kids' age, a snow day is not something I terribly dread because I'm basically able to just ignore them and they ignore me. But you are not at the age of being able to ignore them. And it brings up so much COVID PTSD for me of like everybody being home and me not being able to get a single thing done. And everybody's truly cooped up. What did you do to cope for the snow day?
Well, I also think you're right. We are at a precarious age, but we're also at a great age of being parents because my husband and I have basically gotten to the point of if we have a surprise day home with the kids and we still have to work or we still have shit to do, we have taken the guilt away from us when it comes to putting a screen in front of them. So we didn't just do that all day, but like when there was a snow day, we were like, if we have to put on 6 movies in a row, we will. But we are at an age where going to play in the snow and going sledding is 76% of the time a great thing and they're excited to do.
It's great.
Every once in a while, my daughter usually will just go, oh, I hate this, and I am going to sit and cry on this sledding hill in the way of everyone. And that is what happened. We were like, we're going to go sledding. We got our neighbors' sleds, and they let us borrow them. They were so excited. And by the way, the greatest hill of all time in northern New Jersey is across the street from us. So we're very lucky.
Did you know about it before you moved?
No idea. Literally no idea. This was a surprise the first time we had the snow. And we get there, and it's just deep enough to where it's getting in your shoes. You know what I mean? Where it's like starting to like get in their winter boots. And so my son did a couple sleds. And then as soon as my daughter got some snow in her boots, she started screaming. She's like, I want to go home. And my son's like, but I want to stay. And I'm like, I'm the only one here. So it ended up being a little bit of a shit show. But we sledded for a little while. And then we came home and then we played. And by playing, I mean, I let them watch Scooby-Doo for like 2 hours straight. Okay, so moving on from snow days, I was bullied viciously this weekend.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. Not laughing at you. Please continue.
We went to a friend's house. I'm not even going to name them. I'm not going to give them the dignity of naming them. I know their listener. Went to their house. We're having a great time. We were ignoring our kids together. It was wonderful. And then my phone rang, and I had changed my phone to ring instead of silent like it's normally on. And it rang. And then I sent it to voicemail. And you would have thought I shot a baby in the face. Those boys looked at me like, what is the matter with you? You have a ringtone? First of all, yes. They're like, is this 2006? You have a ringtone? I changed my ringtone. Used to be Super Mario Brothers theme, and now it's K-pop Demon Hunters. Now it's Soda Pop because that fucking song is amazing, and my kid loves it.
Sure, but it is audible. You don't just have your phone on vibrate permanently.
I do normally. It happened to not be on vibrate.
Okay,
those gay homosexuals bullied me so viciously for having a ringtone. So my question for you, Gavin, is: do you have a ringtone, or does your phone just ring when it's not on silent?
It just rings in the sense of I have not downloaded a specific song to tell me who it is. It just I don't even know what my phone sounds like ringing because it's always on vibrate.
Yeah.
Hence, I never answer it.
Which is what they said
you
theirs
deserved
is.
it.
Yeah.
I think you deserved that. But
the attack, the vicious attack?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
But your defensiveness and upset over this is definitely giving us a little view into who you were 55 years ago when you were 10 years old and insecure.
Gavin, this is not helpful at all. I was hoping you would agree with me. Okay, so now we're going to move on to something more helpful. I have a dad hack of the week that is not a hack, but I think it's hack adjacent. So, like I'm sure your kids, my kids, we all, like, usually during Christmas or birthdays, there will be family who will send them a card and maybe send them a couple of dollars, like the amount of years they are old. That's how many dollars they'll get, especially when they're young, right?
That's cute.
And what normally I think most parents do is like, oh, cute. And they just put it in their wallet, right? Yeah. And I was thinking, my kids have their own accounts that we've set up for like savings or whatever if, family wants to give a large amount of money, but I would never do it with like little amounts of money. And then I was thinking, there's something really kind of beautiful about these people, whether it be family members or friends, those $2 going into those accounts. So when they're older and maybe these people have passed or they're no longer around, that love is still kind of in there. So what I've been doing,
and growing with interest,
sure, growing,
particular.
Yeah, even though it's $1, $2, $3, what I'll do now is if it's somebody gets a card and there's $3 in it, obviously I'm pocketing the $3, but then I'll do a quick little transfer of $3. I really do get really strict about it because I just kept thinking, man, when these people are gone and my kids are like, oh, but I have all this money in this account, it's the kind of intent is still in there. So my hack of the week is if your kids get these like little tiny bits of money, or even if it's an allowance, do it. Move it every time. So when they do spend it, when they're 16, 18 or whatever, the kind of love that was behind all of that is still there.
I think it's cute that your kids don't already just spend their own money as fast as they possibly can. Because by first grade, my daughter and son were definitely already being like, sweet, I've got $10 and I'm spending it immediately. But yes, in part of financial literacy, being able to put stuff away and prolong your instant gratification is very, very important. So we should have more financial hacks of the week. Also, we haven't talked finances in a long time with anybody. Somebody out there, listener, will you come educate us on what the hell we should be doing? And is David making a dent in his future college funds by putting $3 in a bank account every 3 months? Tell us, listener. Well, pivot. There's no good news of the week, as we know, right?
Yep.
I found one good thing. Okay. One good thing. Absolute boyfriend of the pod, New York Mayor Mamdani, blew up the interwebs this week. And you know why, huh? When the audacity of that fantastic metrosexual telling all New Yorkers, just stay home. And by the way, everybody can download Heated Rivalry because it was like free, or there were just more copies of it at the library. Who cares? But Heated Rivalry reading quintupled, exponentially multiplied as gays and straights, and I would actually probably venture to say mostly straight people were suddenly reading Heated Rivalry over the weekend, and that just brings such a smile to my face. And also, obviously, Mamdani, even if he's already been our DILF of the week, he deserves to be our DILF of the week because he may not be a daddy, but boy, he does it for all of us, doesn't he?
He does. You know what doesn't do it for anybody?
Tell me.
Our top 3 list.
Gaytriarchs top 3 list. 3, 2, 1.
Excellent. All right, so this is kind of your week, right? Because you
it was,
yeah.
as I have looked at my answers thinking, what on earth inspired me to come up with this topic? But then I say, fuck it. It's our podcast and we can do whatever we want. And I think the Space Force has a stupid name, or somehow it just sounds dumb. So
it's
the topic this week was 3 better names for the Space Force. You threw down the gauntlet and forbade me from using ChatGPT, and that's fine, because I did expand my creative prowess and sat there and contemplated for at least 57 seconds my 3 names here. But I'm pretty proud of them, okay?
Okay.
So the Space Force needs to be renamed. Number 3 for me, Cosmic Coast Guards.
Okay.
It was the glottal. It was the cosmic ghost that earlier in our cold open. Yeah. Cosmic Coast Guards.
Okay.
Number 2, Dicks in Space. I know
it's my
they would
favorite
never do
sci-fi movie.
But every single rocket of displaying Bezos's, insecurity and manhood, it's just Dicks in Space. Number 1, Space Cadets.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You wanted me to stick with Dicks in Space for number 1.
Like, listen,
I like Space Cadets.
I like Dicks anywhere. Space.
Okay.
New Jersey.
All right. What did you come up with?
Okay. Number 3. And I tried to stick with a 2-word thing, right? Space Force. I try to stick with that. So number 3, Planet Patrol.
Nice.
Right? Not bad.
Yeah.
A little onomatopoeia there. Number 2, Space Cops.
Nice.
And number 1, Asteroid Bandits.
I approve.
Yeah.
That was good.
All right.
Good. Thank you for indulging that. Thank you.
I will always indulge. Okay. So moving into next week, let's bring it back to parenting and good parents, which we are not.
Obviously.
Who are the top 3 TV parents?
So, David, today's guest, like most of our guests, is too cool to be on our show. But she's also an inspiration for still being cool and creating cool and sharing cool while being a parent. She's a fashionista, delighting parents around literally the world, and of course has that amazingly charming accent that all of us Americans swoon for. Welcome to the incomparable creator of Hey Disco Baby, the maker of cat suits for littles to make your young one a groovy baby. Charlotte Lyons, welcome to Gaytriarchs. Tell us how your kid has already driven you bananas today.
Hello, thank you. Thanks for having me. Well, I mean, they drive me, well, he drives me bananas every single day, but I think
good, relatable.
Today in particular, we are, I don't know if you guys have probably moved through this, I don't know, but we're in the look at me, watch this, look at me, watch this stage, which is exhausting because it doesn't stop. It's just on repeat. And because he is a typical 8-year-old boy and he's into football and WWE and all that kind of stuff, it's normally something physical that you're watching. So it's jumping off a sofa. Yesterday it was going up the stairs backwards on his bum. Right. And if you, God forbid, you do not watch that thing properly because you are then there for double the amount of time.
Oh yeah, like because you can watch him, but if he's like if your pupils are not directly in line with me
dilate
at all times,
at a moment,
if you look away, if you sneeze, then I'm gonna get mad at you and I'm gonna have to do it the whole thing again. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I always get the you're on your phone, you're not watching, which obviously then makes you feel a million times worse. So yes, I've learned that you just have to power through, watch it properly the first time, and you'll save yourself a lot of heartache.
And isn't it pathetic when you do catch yourself still drifting back to the phone, being like, I just want to go check something real fast, and you think, this is pathetic of me, and your kid is not wrong when they call you out and they're right. Oh, that's also the worst. I immediately think he's 8. How old is he again? He's 8. He's an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, that is not the same as being the why kid and asking incessantly why that, but having to watch is kind of adjacent to that.
Yeah, we totally skipped the why stage.
Oh, wow.
We've never had it. I've never had the pleasure of it. So yeah, I'm firmly in the look at me stage.
But now you're in the look at me go upstairs on my bum. Yeah, got it. That's great.
And there's only so many times that you can feign interest and be like, wow, cool. Yeah. Oh, great.
When I'm at my worst, I will try to like throw it back on my kids. My kids are 6 and 4, and they'll do something really stupid and force me to watch it. And I'll be like, hey, you watch me. And then I'll do something really stupid. And I'm like, yeah, impressive, huh? And then they're kind of like, why is dad being mean to me? And I'm like, yeah, I'm When they go low, I go lower is what's happening.
I've not tried that. That's an absolutely brilliant
because
idea.
It's mean, Charlotte, and you're a kind person, and I'm a terrible, terrible person.
But surely there were plenty of Y kids around you that you've avoided, or somehow the British nutritional system keeps kids from asking why when they're
it's definitely a thing, 100% a thing. I've for some reason we just skipped it, which I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth there. But yeah, I've witnessed it on other children. We've skipped it, thank God.
So I'm curious, these days, what's the best thing about your parenting journey right now? And also, can we come live with you in the UK to avoid our current authoritarian nightmare?
Yeah.
Well, yes, you can. Obviously, you're all invited.
All right.
So come over anytime. Mm-hmm. We still have problems here, but we do have good bread. We have fewer guns. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Come over.
Yeah, you had me at carbs, honestly. Yeah.
That's definitely our love language, particularly David's. I like your beer, and he'll take the bread. So
yes.
Okay, so you're here largely because we stalked each other on Instagram, which I absolutely appreciate, and thanks so much because you post really interesting stuff. Tell us about Hey Disco Baby.
Oh, thank you. Well, it basically it started in 2020, the year that we'll never forget. And basically prior to that, I had been doing like adults clothing. So I basically started my own label, probably like 2013, maybe 2014, which was basically adults festival wear. So crazy catsuits, crazy leggings, everything holographic, everything disco. Like as much shimmer and sparkle as you can get in there, basically. Because I was a partier and a festival goer, and I was going to festivals, and I couldn't find anything that I wanted to wear to buy. So one day I just made it. I was like, I'm going to just make a catsuit. And then my friends were like, can you make me a catsuit? So I was like, okay. And that just kind of like all spiraled. So that's how kind of like the adult stuff started. And then so I did that for like 7-8 years full time.
Oh, that was the full-time gig then?
Yeah.
You were paying the bills, making fabulous clothes for people who like to have fun.
Yeah, half and half.
She's like, I'm in crippling debt. But yeah, that's all. Yeah, I was paying the bills. Yeah,
It was good fun. I was going to a festival every weekend, so it was fun. But yeah, and then that kind of like, COVID hit, so people stopped going to festivals. I was also, by that point, I'd had my son, so priorities had changed. I wasn't going to a festival every weekend. And all my friends had started having babies as well. And they said, they were like, can you make some stuff for my kid? So it just ended up being a kind of like natural progression to start doing the kids wear clothes in all the, the jazzy colours and the outfits and all the rest of it. Because all my like hedonistic friends still wanted all that for their kids. They didn't want to just curl up and die and be a boring parent just because they've had a child. They were still fun. And then, so I just started doing the kids' clothing, and that became just more popular than the adults, and it just literally flew off the shelves. So now I still do both. I still do adults and kids, but it's all kind of under the kids label, which is Disco Baby. And it's just really fun kids' clothing, which is loud, proud, creative, bold. It's like for kids that want to stand out, and they're the ones in the middle of like, the dance floor at a festival or the party or whatever on the bouncy castle, whatever it is. And it's for the parents that don't want their kids to be boring and haven't got boring just because they've had children. So yeah, that's
I am so jealous hearing about your festival life. I mean, I can't imagine. David, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the idea of festival culture, I don't think exists here, or I'm just so completely.
What are you talking about, Burning Man? What are you talking about?
Well, but Charlotte, are you talking about Burning Man, like where people go into the desert and have a 4-day festival? Or are you just talking about like raves / or is it an entire weekend festival? Explain that.
Okay, so I mean, here we have very different festivals to the States here. So I have been to Burning Man, so like I've done that whole thing, but they are very, very different. This is like 10, 12 years ago.
When it was still cool. Now
when it was cool, yeah, exactly, yeah. But yeah, the festival scene here is just like nothing that you'll get anywhere else. It's like, obviously Glastonbury is the big one, which is just incredible. But yeah, I mean, I don't, my customers, they aren't just kind of festival people. They're the people that went to Ibiza. They're the people that, went to the warehouse raves in London. Like it's just the hedonistic kind of like crowd. And it's, basically, I guess parents that were born in the 80s, raised in the 90s on dance culture. And haven't quite let it go.
Oh God, I'm so jealous
Gavin,
of that.
That doesn't include you. She said born in the 80s, first of all. You were born in the 1880s. That doesn't count.
Well, listen, I had my 50th birthday party this year in my rural town in Connecticut, and I got a DJ, and I said, all I want to do is dance. And I demanded that everybody dance outside. We were done by 10:30 at night. And many, many people said to me, that is the best party I've ever been to. And I'm like, well, we all need to do this more and have our own form of a dance festival, because we don't, I would say, especially in the US, we don't dance with total frivolity and let go nearly as much as we should, or frankly, ever. And I think that you Europeans or Brits are so much better at it than we are, because we're stuck in our own self-perception of being cool, et cetera. And I feel like European dance parties are just way more off the hook and joyful.
They are completely wild. I mean, like we've got the festivals, we've got Ibiza, we've got London, we've got like the clubbing scene, was and is still brilliant. But you guys invented dance music. You brought it to us.
Yeah, well, us specifically, Gavin and David from GaytriarchsPodcast, we invented this music. I was just thinking when you were talking about like 90s, I remember, when I was in school, we would go to, there's a place called Ybor City in Florida. And it was this, it's just, it's like a lot of towns have, it's like a street with a bunch of clubs and bars on it. But it was, some of the clubs were 18 and up. They weren't 21 and up. They were 18 and up. So we would sneak in there with our fake IDs, because we kind of maybe looked 18, and they would have foam parties. Did you go to a foam party, Charlotte? Party. Well, I used to think, I love foam parties. They were so fun. Now, at 46, when I think about going into a dark room full of liquid foam with strangers, I want to kill myself.
Fantastic.
Oh my God, the amount of HPV I'm going to get from that fucking thing. But at the time, I was like, this is the greatest day of my life. We would all drive home in my Jeep Wrangler, soaking wet in our underwear. Happiest we've ever been.
Happiest.
Yeah, I mean, I remember going to foam parties, but the difference here is that you went clubbing at like 15 because the IDs was not a thing. So you're going out like 15, 16, 17. That was when I started going out clubbing, and it was foam parties, and it was a revolving dance floor, which was obviously just like insane.
High tech.
Yeah, completely. But like now, it's funny you say that about your birthday, because now we've got this whole generation of ravers that are like literally in the UK propping up the nighttime economy, because kids aren't going clubbing anymore. Yeah, they're not doing it. They don't drink. They're at the gym. They don't want it going on Instagram. They're just not going clubbing anymore.
Bunch of fucking nerds.
It's the 40-plus-year-olds that are keeping the nighttime economy going, and because of that, it's now become, there's quite a big thing in the UK where you just have these big day parties. And it starts at 12 and it ends at 8 o'clock, and it's all parents, and it's brilliant, and
that sounds amazing.
It's such a massive thing here, because everyone's like, you get the hangover at 10 o'clock, you go to sleep, you have a full night's sleep, and then in the morning you can deal with your children.
Amazing. I can't wait to come over.
I went to my son is in first grade at his school, and they had like a winter festival thing at his school, and it was good. I assumed it would be the same bullshit. It's like make a snowman, have some hot chocolate, sing Christmas carols, bounce. But they, in the very back, they set up this huge tent with like black like sides, and it was a silent disco, which I'm sure you're very familiar with. It's basically where you get these big headphones, and then all of the music is playing at the same time for people. But if you're not wearing your headphones, it is literally silent. All you hear is people just like breathing heavy. My son has never had more fun in his entire life, because inside there's like crazy lights and smoke, and I was like, this is something to think about, because of course they're playing K-pop Demon Hunters music the whole time. But I was like, listen, this is something that would be really fun for the whole family, is like these like silent discos with kids wearing Hey Disco Baby clothes.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few. There is also quite a few people that are doing kind of parent raves here. Like there's one called Big Fish Little Fish. There's Raver Tots and stuff like that. So this is my crowd. But again, it's parents that want to take their children like out dancing, and like all the kids love it.
My middle schooler went to a middle school dance just a few months ago, and he complained about it. He said, I'll never go again. And I asked what went on, and there was a bunch of cell phone drama, frankly, but they don't dance. And even my daughter, who's in high school now, she went to her homecoming, and she said it was so stupid. I said, well, didn't you at least dance? Like when they started playing Dancing Queen or something, didn't you all rush out to the floor because you all know it? She dances constantly to TikTok, but it's just like 8 measures of TikToking. Mm-hmm. They don't know how to step touch, and let the music take over them. And I think it is a travesty. So,
but is it us as old people trying to put our dance culture on the kids?
Good question.
Or is it just that they don't have access to like a safe, fun way to do it? Or are we just trying to be like, back in my day?
What do you think, Charlotte?
Yeah, what do you think, Charlotte? You're the professional.
I mean, yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because like obviously every generation is, kind of like putting their experiences on the next generation, and our parents were doing like what they were going out in the 60s or whatever, and it was a completely different scenario to what going out in the 90s and raving.
Right, they stood around and drank martinis and smoked in our faces, but they were socializing. And I mean, if they did foxtrots at the country club, that's one thing, but at least they were dancing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean now it is just like it's socializing online, isn't it? Which is a scary thing. So we need to get them out. We need to get them partying. We need to get them dancing. We need to get them to festivals.
Disco baby cat suits for everybody. So,
exactly,
all right, bringing it back to that. Now, I have a little bit of experience this is not about me talking about my experience in the baby industrial
Yes, it is, Charlotte.
complex.
Yes, it is. It's going to be about him.
What is it like being in that baby industrial complex? Because it's a fascinating world of capitalism, isn't it?
So what do you mean? Sorry, industrial complex?
Oh, just that there are so many companies out there trying to market to parents and sell shit that you don't, with all due respect, you don't need. But it is such a market of, getting new parents to invest in stuff for their kids. And there's just so much stuff out there marketing. I think you have to be really aggressive to be a success, or you just have a great idea like yours. But what is your experience in doing all the marketing?
Well, my background was marketing, so I basically kind of did fashion at kind of school and then uni, and then went and did like kind of fashion marketing for like bigger brands. So when it got to the point that I wanted to set up something myself because I wanted to get back into being creative, like I already had the knowledge of how to sell stuff. So, back then it was Facebook, it's not Facebook anymore, but like I kind of knew how to do it all and stuff. So that's always been like a positive for me. But yeah, it's hard cutting through the noise of like other parent and baby brands, because it's complete aggression. And you're right, it's just sell. And like having been the new parent, you just like the first thing you do, isn't it, when you find out that you're pregnant, is you get the list together and you've got and just the stuff that you just think, I don't need this. Like I've only got one child. But I know that if I would have had a second one, I would have just like, you just stop being fussy about stuff, don't you? You would have got a second-hand stroller. You don't care. You're just like, no one needs this shit. Like,
God. We were just talking about it before you joined us, about how my first kid, I was like, no sugar for the first year, organic this, everything was protected. And by the second kid, I was like, I don't know, is she breathing? Who knows? Like you just, like it really just flies out the window. But I think what's interesting about what you're selling, to Gavin's point, in the parent to, industrial complex, and maybe some of the other places, is that the other things that people try to sell to parents, I think, are often touted as like, you need this, and this is for safety. And if you don't have this, you're a bad parent. I feel like yours is very much investing in the joy of your family and your kid. Like that is, I think, slightly different. It's like, look how fun and joyful this can be, especially for parents who every one of us on this call and every parent listening right now, we lose a little bit of ourselves as we become parents. And some of us just let it go, and some of us try to claw it back. I think this is a really beautiful way to kind of like get back some of that old part of you, going to raves or whatever. You could skip the Molly and the sleeping with strangers, but getting to share it with your kids in a safe space, or not.
Yeah, no, completely. And like, I think that's what I love about what we do, is because we do the personalized stuff. Like whenever any of the gifts that I got when I was pregnant or had a newborn or whatever, the stuff that I loved was the stuff that was personalized. So I remember when my son was really little, we got a personalized Beatrix Potter book that had, his name was in the story and all that kind of stuff. So, it was the personalized presents that always stood out for me. So because we do all the personalized jackets and all that kind of stuff, it's just like giving someone firstly like joy and the kid joy and brightness and fun and all the rest of it when in a time when they've probably lost it, like you're saying, but also it's just something so unique. So like whenever we do a jacket, you know, I will work through the process completely with the customer, whether it's, you know, for a gift or it's for them or it's the child or whatever, and we'll choose the colors, then we'll choose the text. So it's like, you know, sometimes it's like you know, Isaac or Sienna or whatever on the back of a jacket, but sometimes it's like Disco Boss or like Little Raver or you know, like I've had it's Britney Bitch kind of, you know, I've had it all. And it's just and then we work through it together and they get really invested in the process, so it makes it even more special to them. And then when they get this really kind of like one-off unique thing that has just had so much love and like care poured into it from both sides, it's just like it's an amazing feeling to wear. They love it. And I get so many people saying my kid just won't take it off. Like they just like they get given it and then they're obsessed. And I just love to think that, like, you know, in 20 years time or whatever, we've all got that thing from our childhood that you remember. Like mine was a white 80s Minnie Mouse t-shirt, and I still remember that t-shirt. I never took it off. I've got photos of it. It's like ingrained in my mind. I don't know where it is now, but I wish that I still had it. But you're always going to remember that thing from your childhood. And I just love that it, for a lot of people, it's going to be that Disco Baby jacket, and it's just something so personal to them.
That's awesome.
Gavin, what was yours? Like a grass skirt or like a burlap bag? Like, what was your childhood favorite?
There are definitely so many things, but I do remember a Mickey Mouse t-shirt of mine that I still have. I mean, I have, you know, a memory box or 7 in our attic, and I never, of course, take it out and it should just be burned and who cares. But there's definitely a Mickey Mouse t-shirt. Yeah. I remember seeing a picture of myself in 1952 at the opening of Disneyland with my Mickey Mouse t-shirt on, and me, I don't know, hugging Mickey or Minnie.
You and Walt just hanging out.
Me and Walt just hanging out there. Yep.
I remember having a Bart Simpson shirt that said, "Don't have a cow, man." And my parents were always very like, well, this is bad. And this is, you know, potty talk or whatever. But I was like, I slept in it, I think every night for a good 3 years.
Because you weren't allowed to wear it out because it was so low class for your parents?
It was like like the Simpsons were really bad, and then when I got older, Roseanne was too bad, and then it was like all the you know, all the things were just, you know, a little Married with Children, right? Oh, we don't watch that in this house. Yeah.
That is so your thing now, though. So back to Charlotte. Do you have help? I mean, you were a marketing person, and suddenly you're a seamstress. I mean, did you already have that sewing skills, and do you have help making stuff now?
So, like in terms of sewing, I basically, so I did sewing at school. So when I was like 16, and we basically made a kimono in one of the lessons, and that apparently qualified me to be a seamstress for the rest of my life. And then I went and did it at uni, but I did the marketing side of it. So that was kind of like the education side of it. But then I like to think that I got my sewing skills from my grandma, because she was just an avid sewer. I mean, it was, you know, it was doilies and tablecloths and all the rest of it, and very English. But she just sewed everything. Like she sewed everything, and like I'd always been creative, but like I feel like I got it from her. And then like my granddad was a vet as well, so that's why I'm just completely animal crazy. But I like to think the sewing came from her.
There's a combination of interests from your background. Disco animal costumes. Why not?
I have been asked, and I have done a couple. So that's what's coming next.
Oh, God, especially in the States. Some people either who have children and pets or just pets spend so much fucking money on their pets on, and I don't mean like insurance and all that. I mean like stupid fucking shit that doesn't matter. Not that would be that, but like costumes and outfits and oh my God. Oh yeah.
Oh, I think Charlotte would even say this is stupid fucking stuff for dogs, but it's
like rain boots for dogs. Like I'll kill you. But some people spend money on that.
They sure do.
Oh, well, no, this is great, because I think dogs are probably going to go through more jackets more quickly than kids. So this is a great market for me to get into, because they'll be replacing them.
They need a fall jacket. They need a winter jacket. They need like a light summer one. They need a rain jacket. Absolutely.
Have you ever caused any costume malfunctions with your clothing?
I mean, that's a good question. So, I mean, not directly, but I don't know if you've ever gone to the toilet at a festival wearing a catsuit, because that is a hard thing to do.
It is now on my list of
it's on his bucket list. Yeah.
So, like, you obviously, here they're called portaloos, they're called like porta potties or whatever over there. Yeah. But like, firstly, you're in the dark.
Yeah.
Secondly, you're wearing a catsuit.
Yeah.
So it's all has to come off,
which means
so already
complete
you're
disrobing.
Like, you don't want to touch the floor at all.
Right.
You're normally wearing a bum bag. Mm-hmm. You're normally wearing perhaps like a sequin jacket or a cape or something else.
Let's hope so.
You've normally had a few shandies.
Yeah.
So, and then all of a sudden you're faced with this dilemma of I've got to go to the bathroom.
Right.
And derobe somehow. It's a balancing act. I still have core muscles to this day just from that activity, I think. So I reckon there's been a few catsuit-induced accidents.
So has your son followed in your footsteps as far as your love of music and festivals?
I mean, he's a bit, I've not taken him to a festival properly yet, which I need to do. That's definitely on my list because there's lots of really kid-friendly ones in the UK. There's a big one called like Camp Festival, which is just for kids. Well, it's not, it's for adults. So obviously someone's got to take the kids, but it's aimed at kids. So I'd really need to start doing that with him. And it's something that, I'd love to do, and it's on my list and stuff.
Is it on his list? Like, does he like to dance?
No. He doesn't know this is coming. And he's very into music. So he now has his own playlist in the car, and he knows how to work Spotify and all the rest of it. And my Spotify Wrapped is out of control because it's now just brain rot songs, which are horrendous. But yeah, so he's kind of into the music stuff. He's not quite reached the partying stage, but he is a typical 8-year-old boy. So he's into football, he's into wrestling, and do you know what he hates? He hates anything that's sparkly. So he is not interested.
He's rebelling in any
already.
Of my. Yeah.
He's literally like, it's a complete waste. And I have heard myself say to him, like, I am cool. I'm cool. It's just like this massive waste on him.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's always the shoemaker's children who go barefoot. But it's a rebellion. I'm sure if you weren't into sparkles, he'd be like, I love sparkles. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I try and get him to do, he won't wear anything sparkly, but if I try and get him to like model the t-shirts or anything, and like you'll see him on the website and on Instagram and everything like that, but behind that photo has been at least 20 pounds of like Roblox or something else, and just complete bribery to get him to do it. And that is kicking and screaming.
That is the essence of parenting, is bribery. Don't let anybody
bribery.
Yeah, don't let anybody steer you away from that. I am curious, back to the festival scene a little bit. Do you feel like that there's ever a delineation between where the gays go to dance and where the straights go to dance? Or because I feel like, I don't know, my club scene is definitely from decades ago, but I would say, and go ahead and agree or not, David, do you think that, like there are gay parties and there are gay discos and there are gay bars, etc., and straight? And it really, I mean, aside from the occasional bachelor party, or what is it? It's not a stag party. What's a bachelor party? Okay.
Stag day. Yeah.
A bunch of women will show up at a gay bar, and it's novelty and sort of a little bit like, let's go look at the wild animals in the zoo. But it seems to me that Europeans are much more blended, or is that, am I romanticizing things?
No, I think it's much more inclusive here, 100%. I think like if you go to, obviously there's like towny pubs and then there's gay discos, but there is so much more in the middle here. I completely think that's more of a thing. It's, I think ultimately music is somewhere where everyone comes together. And if you're going to a club or a bar or whatever, and it does feel like, different sides of the room or whatever, you're in the wrong place. So don't stay there. Just go. But I think it's so much more inclusive here, and it's just, and it's the same with festivals and all the rest of it. You just feel like that is a place where it comes together. And like at Glastonbury, for example, one of the biggest and most popular kind of bits that people try to get into is the bit that's called NYC Down Low, and it's literally like an area, and it's just drag queens on a stage with really good disco and house music, and just on a Sunday evening, that's where all the straight boys are.
Yeah.
So we want to party.
They know how to just have a really, really great grinning time, for sure.
I feel like it would be really funny, Gavin, like the cliche, which is so true, by the way, of like the bachelorette party going to the gay bar to watch the wild animals. I think we should start reversing that. And I think we should start having gay events at like straight biker bars. We should like get a gaggle of gays and we'll go to like the hardest, most disgusting straight bar and just watch the wild animals and we'll just see what happens.
I'm sure it'll be completely uneventful and nobody will think it's weird whatsoever.
Oh, totally. But I feel like Burning Man is one of to me, like, I've never been to Burning Man, but I have a lot of friends who go often. It seems like a rare thing here in the States where like gays and straights are at equal footing and it's nobody kind of owns that territory because all the straight people act a little gay at Burning Man. And so I think it's like a weirdly like very even place here in the States versus like you're going to go to like a Kenny Chesney concert here. And it's like, okay, that's for straight people only.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think like that's, that's the thing with like, I've not been to Burning Man for ages, but it's the same with like a Glastonbury or Burning Man or whatever. You also just get like everyone is thrown together regardless of, sexuality, race, status, whatever. And it's like literally at Glastonbury, you will be walking down a walkway to go to a stage and Bradley Cooper is walking past you, covered head to toe in mud and smiles at you. And it's just like everyone is on the same level. And that's what is so beautiful about it, I think. And it's very similar at Burning Man. But yeah, it's just those magical places where everything comes together.
So what's next for Disco Baby? You mentioned the pets, and if you do go down that road, we definitely want to hear an update and maybe have a kickback from it. But what's next for Disco Baby? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, that will be Disco Dog. We're all like,
yes, Disco Dog.
I need to start brainstorming that one. But yeah, I just want to carry on building the brand. Like I'm a very small independent brand, i.e., it's just me. Going back to what you said earlier about, do you have any help? Like I do everything at the moment. I am marketing. I am the designer. I'm HR. She's got some questions to answer to. But so I'm doing. I do work with a very small manufacturer here in the UK, who are in London, and they're like small. They do small runs for me and stuff. So like I need to kind of carry on building up the brand, but I never want to lose that kind of essence of having, being an independent business because. Everyone loves the independence. Like no one wants to shop on the high street anymore. So I need to kind of carry on building stuff, but never lose my roots. I want to expand the product range. I want to kind of do maybe more adult stuff again. And then, maybe kind of like start looking at wholesale and getting into kind of stores, I guess, because at the moment I just do it all online, which is great because you don't have to talk to people in a shop.
You're the boss. You're the boss.
Yeah, and I don't want to spend a Saturday talking to rude people.
Where can all these rude people find you without actually having to talk to you? Where do they find Disco Baby? discobabyclothing.co.uk, or we're on Instagram under Hey Disco Baby. So yeah, that's where you need to go. But yeah, so just like that's the plan, and mainly keep on having fun. Yeah, that's the plan. And where do I want to be in 5 years? I want to be on a beach, day drinking, not being able to move my face, because I think that's what everyone wants to be.
Yes, that sounds incredible.
So tell us about when you earned your parenting badge. You said, yep, I am in it.
I mean, there has been a lot of moments, but I think one probably that really stands out and where I just thought, oh my goodness, yeah, I would like the ground to swallow me up whole. One of those.
Good.
I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but my son was a biter, which is. This is a completely normal thing, by the way, right? Sure. I am not like, this is a normal thing. But I just remember once I was at a soft play. I don't know if you guys call it a soft play over there, but with the ball pools and the slides and the indoor kind of like play zones. And there's normally a really awful cafe for like the parents to just sit in and cry whilst their kids run around shouting. It's
Are they able to drink? Like, is there alcohol served?
Well, sometimes you can find one that does have a bar, but normally it's just horrible coffee.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's normally like it's age 1 to 5. That's what it's kind of like popular for. So I was at a soft play, and I was with a mum friend that I didn't like kind of know massively well. So we were kind of like still trying to impress each other or whatever. And all of it, and we're just chatting, the kids are playing or whatever. And all of a sudden, this woman comes out of nowhere, and she's like making a beeline for me.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, oh my god, what is she going to say? So immediate, just like no hello. No context, nothing, just straight in with like a public execution of your kid has just bitten my child. So obviously you were like literally just mortified and like wanting to just die on the spot and apologizing profusely and all the rest of it, but she just carried on being a complete dick, like just rude, horrible, not forgiving. Even, you know, I was firstly trying to apologize, diffuse the situation, dying of embarrassment, trying not to let anyone else hear the conversation, and then started to try and explain that, like, well, this, you know, they're 3, it's kind of quite a normal thing, like, you know, have a bit of sympathy or whatever. So anyway, so that happened, and I was just like completely dying. And then I was so upset by it because I'm not that kind of person. I don't like confrontation. I don't like horrible feeling or anything like that. So I apologized to her on the way out and just to reinforce how sorry I was. After like I literally waited maybe like 15 to 20 minutes, and I was like, I need to leave this place. And she was still being a complete dick to me in front of other people. I just thought. And then it kind of clicked. I was like, well, actually, no, you just need someone to be a villain today.
Yeah,
like, you've been up all night, you've had a bad morning, whatever. Like, you just need this. But it just made me realise that, like, kind of, you know, firstly, kids are mental. Like, you can be the best parent in the whole world and you might have a biter. You might have a hitter. You might have a kid that wants to lick the bus stop, whatever. Like, you're going to have to deal with this shit, right? And then secondly, just, like, have a bit of grace. Like, don't, like, parent shaming is completely out of control and wild. Like, just, like, so it just made me realise that, like, now I need to, like, I want to be the mum with, like, a sympathetic look and no judgment. Like, just, I want to be the nice person. But yeah, I think that was definitely one of the moments I was like, okay, this parenting badge number 37.
Right. Oh, that's very relatable, and everybody just needs to chill out, dance some more, smile some more, and wear Disco Baby. So,
exactly,
Charlotte,
the motto.
Thank you for demeaning yourself and being on our stupid little podcast. You bring joy to my Instagram algorithm every single day, and please continue doing so. And can we please come over and party with you? Please.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I would be offended if you didn't.
Good. Thank you so much, Charlotte.
So my something great this week was born out of the snow day we talked about earlier and the television I put my children in front of. And I discovered something that I think it really could be a dad hack, but it was so useful, A, in its practicality, but B, in the guilt I didn't feel. There are videos on YouTube called brain breaks. And maybe all the other parents out there already know about this. I did not. And what they are, and there's, you know, K-pop Demon Hunters brain break. There's themed brain breaks all over the place. And what they are these like active videos with kids where they have to do stuff. They have to choose, they have to run, they have to jump, they have to hide, they have to make weird noises. And it is these active videos that the kids fucking love. And they have like, you know how like Dance Revolution, where you like run and you have to match the things, or you're like running and you have to dodge the car. These kids don't, because my kids are stupid, because all kids are stupid. They think that they're somehow involved in it, but they're like running, they have to dodge the car. They fucking love it. And then they have these ones called This or That, and they'll just show like 3 different houses, and they're like, which one do you want? My kids are screaming at the television. They're like, that one. No, this one's right. It is literally 10 to 20 minutes of the most active your kids have ever been in front of a television. And so
sorry, where do you find it? Is it YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
YouTube.
All right.
And again, there's themed ones. There's every theme that you can imagine they have of these brain breaks, but they are so, again, my kids are 6 and 4, so maybe this is age dependent, but they fucking loved it. And then I didn't feel guilty that my kids were standing in front of a television for an hour, because they were like running and they were diving on the ground and making silly noises and
creating memories together and interacting while they're doing it. That's the best way to neglect your children in front of a screen.
Perfect.
I thoroughly endorse that. I'm going to try it out on my kids at some point if I don't forget, and I'll report back. Okay.
Great.
My something great this week is Minneapolis. And by that, I mean the people coming together as a force for good is so inspiring, and everything is depressing coming out of there. And yet at the same time, when you see people coming together to rise up against oppression and say, we will not stand for this, and we will stand as a united population for good, that makes me happy. And that's our show. If you have any comments, suggestions, or general compliments, you can email us at GaytriarchsPodcast@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us on Instagram. We are at GaytriarchsPodcast. On the internet, David is at David FM Vaughn everywhere, and Gavin is at Gavin Lodge on Mondani Shirtless.
Please leave us a glowing 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks, and we'll ignore our kids with you next time on another episode of Gaytriarchs.